8:41 on your Friday morning. The pandemic and its economic fallout taking a huge toll on the mental health of a lot of people. But what you eat could change how you're feeling. Heidi shows us some foods that can help ease your anxiety and depression symptoms.
Yeah, good morning, you guys. We've been talking a lot about our health during this pandemic. It's really struggling. We're not getting the sleep we need, and a lot of people feeling very anxious and depressed. Those two conditions go hand in hand. And our mental health, something I don't think we realize, Stephanie, is it is so impacted by our diet. So many times when we think of food, we just think of our physical health, but you can speak personally about how this has changed your mental health too.
Absolutely. You know, there's so much that we can change in our diet that affects, like you said, our physical health, but our mood. And we're focused on medications in this country, and we need to start looking at what we're putting in our body, because it's really undoing what some of those medications are supposed to be doing for us.
Well, and I love how you say food is fuel and information. So when we're giving our bodies good information, we'll get good results from it.
Absolutely. And there's three things I want people to focus on when they think about their mood and food. It's the type of food we're eating, it's our timing of our meals, and it's the amount of food that we're eating.
Okay, I want to show this visual that you have, which I think is just a brilliant demonstration of how all those building blocks go together, because if we start pulling those out, we know what happens.
We know what happens. The tower falls. And these foods, processed foods, highly refined foods, people are like, what are processed foods? I just want you to take a look at this. Things that are packaged and boxed up, that have an ingredient list that's a mile long. That is a processed food.
That makes our tower fall. Okay.
These will take out those nutrients, because those kinds of nutrients aren't in these types of foods. That's why we keep trying to push everybody to the type of food that you should be eating, and that is whole foods. And you'll see I have everything here that I've talked about in the past. Nuts and seeds loaded with vitamins and minerals and those polyphenols we talked about. Fresh fruits and vegetables. I have legumes in here. I have whole grains in here, and then fermented foods. That should be the foundation of our health, of our diet, and that significantly impacts our mood. These things cause us to crash. They give us a lift, and then we crash. It messes with our blood sugar levels and the hormone insulin. A lot of people have insulin resistance, and these types of foods make it worse.
And I think, again, this is just the conversation of our body. As you said, it is a whole system. It's not your physical separate from your mental.
That's right. That's a really good point. It works together. If we can visualize that and eat that way, I think we'll do so much better. Timing is really important. And so 3 plates, 3 meals a day. This is what we recommend that everybody do. A lot of people skip breakfast and lunch, and then they binge at night. And so 4.5 to 5 hours between meals, 3 meals a day. Try not to snack. If you're going to snack, I always recommend nuts and seeds.
It is so basic. 3 meals a day, 4.5, 5 hours apart. We are overthinking.
You're overthinking it. We don't need to do keto. We don't need to do intermittent fasting. We don't need to do those unless for some reason we medically need to change because our doctor is making us because of our health. But for good overall health for everybody, it's so simple. And then amount, how much we're eating. If we're eating foods like this is what our body is taking in. It mucks up our liver. It causes our liver not to function properly. It drops our blood sugar. It makes us feel lethargic. It gives us fatigue.
So if it's doing that to our organs, it's doing that to our brain. Okay. For reference, for people who are really struggling with anxiety and depression, they start changing their diet. I know you can't give like a finite amount of time, but how long before they might start to feel better? Is this a pretty fast-acting
30 days.
30 days.
If you can do 30 days, and I really recommend to my patients, do it 1 week at a time. Setting goals out too far causes us anxiety, and then we start, and then when we fail, then we are depressed. So there's so much more that goes into eating than just the food we eat. It's how we're eating, it's why we're eating, and it's what we're eating.
Mindful eating. Anxiety and depression does not need to be the norm.
It does
Pandemic or otherwise, you can eat your way to better mental health. I think this is a game changer for so many people, Stephanie. Thank you. And here's to that, right? Everybody wants to feel better.